Welcome to the farm.
Welcome to the farm. I'm Justin,
I'm Cadence.
and today we got the Kubota in the shop hooked up to the rock bucket and grapple. We got all these fittings and hoses. We're gonna start cutting some hydraulic lines.
And Daddy has a little helper right here.
That's right. You ready to get started?
Yeah!
So I have a rough idea on how I'm gonna run my lines. Obviously, we're gonna kind of build things as we go. But I think the first thing we're gonna do is put our 90 fittings on our cylinders. So we gotta remove these two plugs. You wanna go ahead and do that?
Sure.
All right, so let's get that socket. There you go. Turn the other way. Yep, pull. Get both hands on there and pull. Pull. Get both hands up on the end here, on the end, and pull all as hard as you can.
Like this?
Nope. Pull towards you. Yep. So maybe come over here and push. Yep, get in here, push. There you go. Okay, take that all the way out.
There we
Perfect.
go.
All right, take the other one out.
This one?
Yep. Let's make sure it's in. Yep. Okay, push. Oh, keep it in front of you so it's easier to work, okay? Stay where you are. You want to pull?
I'm gonna pull that way.
Okay. There you go. You got it. Nice job.
Yoo-hoo! I did it, folks.
All right, so now that you got these two plugs out, we need to put the 90 fitting in, okay? So start by taking this plastic cap off.
Okay.
All
There
right.
we go.
Now you can take this part and start spinning it in there.
This way?
Yep.
Ah. It's tricky.
There you go.
There we go. There we go.
All right. Okay, stop right there. So we're going to have this facing this way.
Okay.
All right. So now what we can do? Hold on. Nope. Leave that cap in.
Alright.
So now what we're going to do is you're going to take this, spin this down. Okay. So spin this down with your fingers till it touches. Okay. You're going to take this wrench. You're going to put it on that nut, and I'm going to hold it on top here. You got to spin the other way though.
I can't do it.
Yeah, you're on. Spin. There you go. Yep. Nope. You got to take it back off. Okay, so now that we got the bottom one in, we can go ahead put our top one in.
See you when we're done.
All right, so we got our 90s in both these cylinders, right? So these ends here are too big for other hydraulic lines. We ended up going with 1/4-inch hydraulic lines with 1/4-inch pipe thread fittings. These are a 3/8 fittings, so we got to put in reducers to go from 3/8 to 1/4-inch. Okay?
Can I take off the cap?
Yep, you can take this cap off here too.
Okay. And I just noticed I can pull these off.
Yep, this one you probably have to spin out though.
Yeah.
So now I'm gonna put a little bit of thread sealer on there.
That kind of looks like glue, but purple.
It is kind of like a glue.
Kind of looks like jelly up close.
Okay, I'm gonna start this in here.
This looks like jelly.
A little bit. Put a little more on this side. Just to get some even pressure. So this is thread sealant made for hydraulic fittings up to 10,000 psi and 300 degrees Fahrenheit. Now you can take this wrench
Yay.
and you can turn it in. Take it off, spin it all the way back around again. Yep, perfect.
getting tight.
Good. That's what we want. We want it nice and tight. All right. Now we're gonna do the same thing on the other 390s. All right, so my little helper got hungry. She needed to go grab a snack. She'll be back out in a little bit. We got our 4 90 fittings on our cylinders. We got our reducers on. Now I'm just gonna loosely thread in the ends to our hoses. I'm not gonna tighten them down because I gotta go bring these back to the hydraulic shop and have them crimped. But I wanna get a rough idea on hose length and stuff like that. So we're just gonna put these in here loosely for now. So now to be able to run both arms off of one hookup point, I'm gonna have to put a T in between for both sides of the hydraulic cylinder. And the whole point of doing the arms and pins the way I did was to be able to make these arms easily removable. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna install some quick connects on the T's in order to be able to disconnect, remove one arm, and then have the rest of the hoses come off with the other arm, so I'm not fighting all these hoses or having to take hydraulic lines apart to take the 2 arms off the bucket. So let's head over to the workbench, make up a couple T's. All right, so my helper is back out here. She's all snacked, got herself some water.
Yep.
Are you ready to continue?
Yes.
Okay, so we're gonna make our quick connect T's now.
What kind of T's?
Yep.
It kind of looks like a top of the T if you turn it like that.
That's exactly why it's called a T. It looks like a T. Can you pull those caps off of that, please?
Yay! Oh. Whoa. That's okay.
All right, hold on. We gotta put our sealant on here, right?
Shake well before you use.
I did. Okay, thread that in.
Which side?
I think we're gonna go like that.
Ooh. Ooh, ah, yeah. That sounds good.
Now we can put our other side of our quick connect on. All right, we got that really tight.
Look at this cool shape that Daddy did.
Okay, so we're gonna make 2 different styles. We have the female end, and then I'm gonna make one with a male end. That way there's only one way I can hook that cylinder up so that I don't end up with arms working opposite each other. All right, so we got our 2 T-fittings made, and I wanted to show you that these
Can go together.
can go together.
Like Mary.
Yep, there we go. Okay, so while we're sitting at the workbench here, I also want to kind of make up the other ends of our hoses. So we're going to do one. I'm not going to seal them up again because I have to take them apart to get the hoses crimped. So we have all our fittings made up now. We got our 2 that'll hook up to the tractor. Then we got our T's. That'll be our quick connects for our cylinders. So let's bring these over to the tractor and let's start making some lines.
Woohoo!
All right. So I really don't know what the proper way to cut hydraulic hoses is, but what I'm going to do is just use a grinder and a cutoff wheel and see if we can't just zip through it. Seems like that'll work just fine. All right, well, my little helper lost interest in hydraulic lines, and really I can't blame her. It's not unicorns, cupcakes, and rainbows and stuff. But you and I are gonna continue on. So I got my first cut made. We'll go ahead and stick that into the crimp fitting. We'll get our T kind of positioned where we want it. I think right in here's pretty good. And we'll make another cut right here. And I'm just going to take some compressed air, blow that line out real good. I think we are ready to go with that fitting, or that hose. There we go. Our first hose is cut. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and make my shorter hose here on this side. Something like that. Maybe right in there-ish. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take these two hoses out. I'm going to make the hoses for the cylinder on the other side the same length. Hopefully that'll all work out and keep these things nice and centered. So I got this first section of hose on the shorter part made. I think I actually want to make these a little bit longer to see if I can get this junction point back behind the bucket and hopefully protect it a little bit better, because right now I think it's kind of sticking out where things can hit it. So let's cut some longer hoses for that. Alright, so what I did is I just used the longer hoses from the lower fittings and put those on there, and I like the way this sits. It's sitting a lot lower, it's behind the bucket, protected. I still have access, my pins will come up and unlash for the bucket, so I'm a lot happier with that. So I think I'm going to cut a little bit longer ones for the lower hose as well, and see if I can't get that to tuck in back here as well. Yep, I like the way that all lays down in there. I'm pretty happy with that. I think we can go ahead and move on to the longer hoses. Alright, so I got one hose made and cut. I'm going to go ahead and run the bucket through its full range of motion and make sure that this isn't going to kink or get in the way. And if that's the case, we'll cut the second hose the same length. So running through the motion there, I think it might be just a little bit long because it really kind of coils up and it's almost coiling up below the bottom of the bucket, which means it's almost dragging on the ground if I were to push. So I think I'm just going to take a little bit out of here. So I'm a lot happier with that length. I think it works out good. I still got plenty of slack with the bucket fully curled out. And when I curled it in, it coiled up real nice and neat. Wasn't close to hitting the ground or anything like that. So I'm going to go ahead, make another hose, and we should be done cutting hoses. Alright, so I got both lines cut back to the tractor. I'm going to run another range of motion test just to make sure we don't have any issues with both lines on there now. Well, it might not seem like much, but this is a huge step, having all the lines cut. I am so excited. Hopefully this week I can get these into the hydraulic shop, get them crimped up right away, so next weekend we can get them on the grapple and see that thing run. That would be so great. I mean, it's been over a year working on this project now, and I cannot wait to see it go. I was hoping to get to painting today. It was in the 50s, even 60s degrees Fahrenheit last week. Of course, I come out here this weekend to work, and it's in the 30s. So that's not going to work for painting. Hopefully next weekend it'll be warmer, and maybe we can get out and painting this. Otherwise, that's just going to have to wait until it really warms up. But I am excited. I cannot wait to get these crimped and see this thing run through the motions. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I just want to say thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.